What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Gambino Gaming video. Today we're doing a little bit of Wrestling Jeopardy. Let's see how many points we can tally up. Shout out Wrestling Jeopardy for this video.
Let's go to the board and find out this episode's categories. Starting off with masked wrestlers, followed by same nicknames, then real names, then pay-per-view names, and finally, name that theme. All right, let's kick things off with the 200-point round. Name this masked wrestler.
All right, who we got? Oh, that's Mr. America, Hulk Hogan, for sure. Go ahead, give me my 200.
This brother wasn't fooling anybody. The correct answer is, who is Mr. America, which was Hulk Hogan's alter ego.
So I got 200.
All right, moving on to same nicknames for 200. Roddy Piper and Ronda Rousey share what nickname?
What is Rowdy?
And the correct answer is, what is Rowdy?
Hey, another 200.
All right, on to real names. For 200, Paul Levesque is the real name of what WWE superstar?
Who is Triple H?
And the correct answer is, who is Triple H? Here comes pay-per-view names for 200. What pay-per-view has seen matches like Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, and Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant?
What is WrestleMania?
And the correct answer is,
hey,
what is the Showcase of the Immortals, the granddaddy of them all,
600 points.
Shows, WrestleMania. And closing out the 200-point round, listen to this song and name that theme.
This is Kane's. Something emotion. What is Sick Emotions?
And the correct answer is
Slow Chemical.
Dang. Kane's entrance theme. Now that was easy enough. Hopefully you went 5 for 5 and got yourself a sweet 1,000 points.
5 for 5.
The pace is going to pick up now with the 400-point round.
Hold on.
Name.
Let's say so. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4. I know I have 3 because I lost 1. All right. So I got 600 points.
This masked wrestler.
It's John Cena. Who is John Cena?
And of course, the Latin alter ego of John Cena. The correct answer is, who is Juan Cena?
Fuck. So I only have 200 now.
Same nicknames for 400. Buddy Rogers and Ric Flair shared what nickname?
Well, I have no idea.
And the correct answer is, what is the Nature Boy? Moving on to real names for 400.
I guess I could have got that based
Andrew
on...
Galloway is the real name of what WWE superstar?
Who is Doc Gallows?
And the correct answer is, who is Drew McIntyre?
Bitch.
On to pay-per-view names for 400. Which pay-per-view has seen matches like Kevin Nash versus Goldberg, Sting versus the Black Scorpion, and Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair?
Seems like a WCW type theme. I mean, pay-per-view.
And the correct answer is, what is Starrcade? And the final clue of the 400-point round, listen to this song and name that theme. Lucha, 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 lucha,
Lucha Bros?
Yes, hopefully you picked up on the lucha part of the song because you heard it about 12 times. The correct answer is Lucha, which is the Lucha Dragons theme song, but I also would have accepted Kalisto's because he's always doing lucha things too.
Make a good lucha thing.
All right, 10 clues down, 15 to go, plus Final Jeopardy. We're hopping into the 600-point round. Name this masked wrestler.
Oh, I have no idea who that brother is.
And the correct answer is from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the one, the only Calgary Kid, a.k.a. The Miz's alter ego.
Hate The Miz.
All right, moving on to same nicknames for 600. Butch Reed and Jim Duggan shared this nickname.
Well, Jim Duggan's only nickname was, to my knowledge, was Hacksaw.
And the correct answer is, what is
Bingo.
Hacksaw? Moving on, real names for 600. Michael Hickenbottom is the real name of this WWE Hall of Famer.
Hickenbottom.
And the correct answer is
Oh
the
my
Heartbreak
God,
Kid,
Shawn
Michaels.
Michaels.
Which brings us to pay-per-view
Looking like a
names
casual.
for 600. This pay-per-view has seen matches such as Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, Edge versus The Undertaker, and The Undertaker versus The Undertaker.
SummerSlam?
And the correct answer,
Boom!
what is SummerSlam, not Summerfest? And closing out the 600-point round, listen to this song and name that theme.
I have no idea.
And the correct answer, this is the Blue Blazers entrance theme song. All right, 15 down, 10 to go. Make sure you're keeping track of your score. And at the end of the game, be sure to leave a comment with your score so I know how you did. All right, let's go to the beginning of the 800-point round and name this masked wrestler.
That looks like
This one's kind of tricky. Yes, it looks like Jushin Thunder Liger. However, the correct answer is Super Liger.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks like Jushin Thunder Liger.
Of one Y2J, Chris Jericho.
How can we out-goof each other? Right.
Moving on to same nicknames for 800. Ricky Steamboat and Tatsumi Fujinami share this nickname.
What is the dragon?
And the correct answer is, what is the dragon?
Hey, 800.
All right, next up, real names for 800. Jonathan Good is the real name of this AEW superstar.
Jonathan
And the
Gresham?
correct answer,
John
who is
Moxley?
John Moxley. And Mox is bringing us to pay-per-view names for 800. Which pay-per-view has seen matches like John Moxley versus Orange Cassidy, John Moxley versus CM Punk, and John Moxley versus MJF?
What is All Elite? Or is that
And
what
the
it's
correct
called?
answer,
All
what
Out.
is
I wanted to say All Out.
And the final clue of the 800-point round, listen to this song and name that theme.
I have no clue.
Yes, another masked luchador, this time from WCW.
La Parkas.
This is La Parka's theme song. Congratulations, you've made it to the 1,000-point round, which is the most difficult round in Wrestling Jeopardy. The steel cage begins to lower, the ominous music starts to play. Get your thinking caps on and name this masked wrestler for 1,000 points.
Who even is that?
And the correct answer, who is the Spider, which was the Fabulous Moolah's alter ego?
What?
The winner of this bout and new World Wrestling Federation Ladies Champion, the Spider, the Fabulous Moolah.
Question
Closing out
mark?
the same nicknames category, Bronson Reed and John Studd. both
Big.
share
What is
this
big?
Nickname.
Big Bronson Reed and Big John Studd.
And the correct answer, a fairly simple nickname.
Yeah.
What is big? Which brings us to the final clue of real names for 1,000 points. Mark LaMonaco is the real name of this WWE and TNA Hall of Famer and co-host of SiriusXM's Busted Open. And the correct answer,
Oh,
Bully Ray.
I should be able to get that based on
All
the
right,
Busted
pay-per-view
Open
names
thing.
For 1,000 points, we close it out with which pay-per-view saw matches such as John Cena versus Bobby Lashley, Diamond Dallas Page versus Randy Savage, and the Natural Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham versus the Miracle Violent Connection of Dr. Death Steve Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. And the correct answer we're looking for,
Great American
what is the
Bash.
Great American Bash. And last but certainly not least, for 1,000 points, listen to this song and name that theme.
What is Doink?
Yes, these guys get my vote for the most wrestling craptastic gimmick of all time. The name of the song, what is Fanfare Circus? And this was the entrance theme song of WCW's Masked Wrestlers, the Ding Dongs.
What a name.
Now, are you ready to possibly bet it all in Final Jeopardy? But first, let's find out the category.
Worst wrestling names?
Wrestling names. Think about that for a sec and write down your wager. All right, time's up. Here is the final Jeopardy clue.
The wrestler's
This wrestler's cold-hearted character was almost named Baron Von Ruthless, Fang McFrost, or Chili McFreeze.
What kind of names are these? Baron Von Ruthless, Fang McFrost, or Chili McFreeze? Like, that doesn't give me any kind of tips, clues, or hints.
Boom, boom. This wrestler's cold-hearted character was almost named Baron Von Ruthless, Fang McFrost, or Chili McFreeze. Now, in fairness, these names never actually materialized, but the fact that they were even considered is an absolute travesty.
Travesty.
And the correct answer is
Stone Cold?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Whoa.
The backstory, of course, he was getting ready to get rid of his ringmaster name, and he wanted to come up with a cold-hearted, ruthless serial killer type character. So he told that to the WWE writers, and they came back with a list of names that is just absolutely horrendous.
Horrendous for
Thankfully, cooler
sure.
heads prevailed, and we didn't get The Rock versus Chili McFreeze at WrestleMania 17. And that does it for another episode
That was pretty far.
of Wrestling Jeopardy. If you like what you saw, please give this video a...
Let's do another one.
Do you know what I think you should watch? I think you should watch.
You to be confident when your gories you'll title belts, followed by the easiest round in Wrestling Jeopardy. You should go 5 for 5 here, and if you don't, can you really call yourself a wrestling fan?
I want you to stop that right now.
Yes!
And we're on to the 200-point clue from Custom Title Belts. In July 1998, Stone Cold Steve Austin gave the WWE title a Texas rattlesnake makeover when he revealed what would become known as this belt.
The Smoking Skull Belt. What is the Smoking Skull Belt?
The correct answer, what is
Boom.
the Smoking Skull Belt? And we're on to, do you remember?
Probably not.
2. Do you remember when Big E coined the phrase big meaty men slapping meat about this wrestler being his dream opponent?
Who is Goldberg?
This was during the New Days podcast, and they just lost it.
Big meaty man slapping me.
What a
Big E was
hilarious
talking about his dream
moment.
opponent being...
Goldberg! That's right.
Moving on to frenemies for 200. The
2
team
for 2.
of Daniel Bryan and Kane were also known as this.
Team Hell No. What is Team Hell No? I'll take my 200.
And that would be, what is Team Hell No?
Who wants a group hug? We do.
And that brings us to Ring of Honor for 200. Well, these two wrestlers recently squared off at AEW's All In 2023. It was their trilogy of matches in 2004 that helped put Ring of Honor on the map.
I don't even really watch AEW. And Ring of Honor in 2004, I was like
The first
9.
2 of these matches both wound up in time limit draws.
CM Punk
the
and
third
Samoa
one
Joe.
was a win for Samoa Joe. The correct answer, who are CM Punk and Samoa Joe. And let's finish up the 200-point round with turning Japanese. Prince Albert / A-Train turned into this Japanese samurai warrior.
What is... I want to say Kabuki.
And the correct answer
Oh,
here,
Lord
who
Tensai.
is Lord Tensai.
Lord Tensei ga Kyofu wa Ajiwa Tese Faru. English!
All right, let's jump back to custom title belts for 400. The WWE Women's title was accidentally ripped in half during a backstage tug of war between these two BFFs.
I have no idea.
This custom title belt was anything.
Oh, is it
but
Mickie
flawless.
James?
The correct answer here, who
Oh,
is
Laycool.
Layla and Michelle McCool, otherwise known as Laycool. And that brings us to, do you remember, for 400, do you remember when Fatu was trying to make a difference in the mid-1990s WWF?
What we gonna do? Clean it up! Oh, what we gonna do? Let's clean it up!
Only to be watched from afar by these two individuals.
No, I have no idea. Mid 90s? I was just being born in the mid 90s.
And we would find out that these two individuals were his former tag team partner, Samu, also known as Sammy the Silk, and his cousin Matt, aka Big Matty Smalls or Rosie. Correct answer here. Who were the Samoan Gangster Party?
It's got a dope name.
Handle that, King. What?
Look at the size of that monster there.
Moving on to Frenemies 400. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H were also known by this team name.
Stone Cold and Triple H?
And that would be who is the
two-man power trip. Yeah.
We're on to Ring of Honor for 400. Before becoming general manager of Monday Night Raw, this wrestler worked in Ring of Honor and even had a prior on-air authority role as the lieutenant commissioner for ROH under Jim Cornette.
I don't know a whole lot about Ring of Honor.
And that would be who is Adam Pearce.
Oh.
And let's finish up the 400-point round with turning
I'm smoking
Japanese.
ass this time.
Jamie Noble turned into this masked member of the Young Dragons in WCW.
No clue.
Not the most original name out there, but of course, WCW is gonna WCW. Correct answer here. Who is Jamie-san? All right, 10
Whack.
questions down, 15 to go. Plus, the Daily Double is around here somewhere, and Final Jeopardy will be coming up a little bit later on in the episode. But did you know that you can now listen to Wrestling Jeopardy on Spotify or any place that you get your favorite podcasts? Yes! It's true.
Listen.
Let's start things off with custom title belts. In 2010, Hulk Hogan presented Jeff Hardy with a new design of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, which was also known as this championship.
This is the Brother Nero looking title. But what was that belt called?
And that would be, what is the TNA Immortal Championship? Dudes. And we're on to
Dudes.
Do you remember? For 600. Do you remember back in 2002 when the WWE decided to unify the World Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships in a match at No Mercy between these two wrestlers?
No, 2002. I was like 7.
And during this time, this was also the infamous Katie Vick storyline. The correct answer here, who is Triple H and Kane?
Thank you, Triple H.
And we're moving on to Frenemies for 600. Bailey and Sasha Banks also went by this team name.
Oh, fuck. I should know this one.
And that is who were the
But, yeah.
Boss and Hug Connection. And that brings us to Ring of Honor for 600. This Ring of Honor feud won the Wrestling Observer Feud of the Year award in 2010.
What is Sami Zayn? What is Kevin Steen versus El Generico?
And that was the big feud between El Generico and Kevin Steen. And let's close out the 600-point round with turning Japanese. Paul Diamond turned into this masked Japanese member
Who the fuck
of
is
the
Paul
Orient
Diamond?
Express tag team.
Who is Paul Diamond?
And the correct answer, who is Kato? And let's jump back to custom title belts for 800.
Oh, Daily Double.
And there it is, the daily double for this episode coming from custom title belts. Think about how many title belts you remember that have been customized to a specific wrestler and place your wager now. All right, time is up. Here is the daily double clue from custom title belts. When Tommy Dreamer became hardcore champion in 2002, the original belt had become damaged beyond repair, so Dreamer began wearing a customized version of the title with this as the centerpiece.
Is it barbed wire?
With the hardcore title being retired
duct
later
tape.
that year, Tommy's belt was a replica of the defunct European Championship with a State of New York license plate as the centerpiece.
Huh.
And that brings us to the 800-point clue from Do You Remember?
Probably
Do you
not.
remember back in 2019
Oh,
when
okay.
WWE introduced this unique talk show kind of segment on Monday Night Raw hosted by Corey Graves?
Oh, I should know this. Oh, he's gonna tell me. It's gonna
And the
piss me
correct
off.
answer here, what is the electric chair?
I remember that.
Moving on to frenemies for 800, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy also went by this team name.
Deleter of Worlds. What is the Deleter of Worlds?
And the correct answer, who were the deleters of worlds?
Yeah, I knew that one. I love me some Bray Wyatt.
And we're on to Ring of Honor for 8. This wrestler made his only Ring of Honor appearance at Final Battle 2021 after EC3 said, "Free the Titan."
Who is Braun Strowman?
And that would be
Boom.
Adam Shear, a.k.a. Braun Strowman. And let's finish up the 800-point round with turning Japanese. Chris Champion turned into this martial artist in WCW whose name was both Japanese and Chinese.
Hell if I know. Dun, dun, dun.
And the correct answer, who was Yoshi Kwan? Yoshi being Japanese, Kwan being Chinese. With this gimmick pales in
Hell if I
comparison to
know.
when champion was Cowabunga, the Ninja Turtle.
What?
And that brings us to the most difficult round in wrestling, Jeopardy, the 1,000 one. It's go time now. Let's kick things off with the 1,000-point clue from Custom Title Belts. As the Planet's champion in 2019, Daniel Bryan unveiled an eco-friendly version of the WWE title made from this material.
What is wood? Or is it cardboard?
The new Daniel Bryan changed the
So like
climate
Planet.
of the WWE when he debuted this custom title belt
Hemp.
made from 100% sustainable organic hemp.
This is made from 100% sustainable organic hemp.
That shit
And we're
was
on to the
trash.
final clue from Do You Remember? Do you remember when this popular 1980s
Nope.
tag team squared off against each other on the June 16th, 1997 edition of Monday Night Raw?
Was it Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty?
As a way to promote the Fed's fledgling light heavyweight division, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers, better known as the Fantastics, faced off in a match that most have forgotten about. You
I
probably
didn't
thought
know.
it was the Rock and Roll Express, didn't you?
Yeah.
And moving on to frenemies for 1,000. Al Snow and Steve Blackman
Oh, I should know
also
this
went
one.
by this team name. This unlikely tandem was an underrated duo during the Attitude Era, with Blackman playing the straight man and Snow the wise guy in the tag team known as Head Cheese.
Nope, didn't know.
That brings
I
us
knew that, but I
to
didn't know that at the same
1,000-point
time.
Clue from Ring of Honor. 8 wrestlers are considered Ring of Honor Triple Crown winners. However, this wrestler was the first to complete the feat back in 2011.
I don't know a lot about Ring of Honor.
Tenacious and resilient are just a few words that spring
Bryan
to mind
Danielson.
when thinking of Ring of Honor's first Triple
Oh,
Crown
Eddie
champion.
Edwards.
Who is Eddie Edwards?
Ah, shout out Eddie Edwards.
And let's close out the board with turning Japanese for 1,000. Phil Hickerson turned into this Japanese character and was managed by Tojo Yamamoto in USWA.
What is USWA?
Once billed as Mr. Nashville, Hickerson would adopt the ring name of P.Y. Chuhai, a pun based on Yamamoto's former name of P.Y. Chung and the Japanese alcoholic beverage Chuhai.
Hey, Chuhas are
All right, don't
fire.
go anywhere. I'm going to pour myself a glass of that Chuhai stuff, but it's time for Final Jeopardy, and here is this episode's category. Evil Russians.
Evil Russians.
For decades, evil Russians have, most of these commie bastards have never stepped foot inside the motherland. All right, so think about how the Final Jeopardy. After losing a match to the Rockers in May of 1990, Nikolai Volkov began brawling with Boris Zukov, officially disbanding this Soviet team.
I don't know.
WWE Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, none of his success came during his time teaming with Zukov.
Well, that does it for this video. If you want me to do more WWE or Wrestling Jeopardy, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.